What's up, everybody? We have special guest Raney Branch in studio. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Well, them balls right now, something new by Snoop Doggy Dogg.
I know.
From all the guys.
Right here in the LBC. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Being Mary Jane After Show. When I met you. You got my part.
Damn.
Come on, Howard. I was
his song.
When they play Snoop Dogg, this is my song. What's up, everyone? I am one of your hosts here on the Being Mary Jane After Show. I am Howard III. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Howard III. Miss El Marie, where can we find you?
Yes, you guys can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at El Marie TV.
All right, you can find me at randomly RJ.
Oh, okay.
You never knew my hashtag?
No.
I done wrote to you on Instagram and you never knew it was called randomly RJ?
Oh, my bad.
Okay.
I'll write you back. My name is TK Trinidad. You can find
You
me
already
on
accepted the like.
Oh, did I really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Pay attention.
My bad. Small folks. People love TK. TK, you can find me on everything at TK Trinidad.
It was support.
Yes, and we have a special guest in studio, Miss Raney Branch. She plays Aaliyah.
Welcome.
Hi, Raney.
Hi.
Hi. Where can we find you on all your social medias?
My social media is at Raney Branch, RANEY Branch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So happy to have you.
Thank you.
We're loving this new character, Aaliyah.
Yes.
She's the go-to PR girl. I thought she was only going to be there for like one episode, maybe two.
Listen, I did too at first.
But look at her making her little multiple episodes.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
you become a friend to Mary Jane.
Yes,
I'm here
Black
for it.
love, yes.
Which we like, because we were saying that, like, in New York, Mary Jane needs a friend. And especially, like, during that
Yeah.
time when her and Kara were kind of on the outs.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
like she needs that, another, an
needs
outlet.
She
Yeah.
needs a crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
She needs people
She's
to
kinda
hold
building
her
it.
accountable.
Yeah, she needs that too.
Girl is cray.
just a little.
So let's talk about Miss Crazy here. We opened up with Mary Jane and Justin becoming the new it couple. You know,
Yeah.
everywhere, Justin going along with it, cameras flashing, everybody's happy. But we see that he's still not that excited. He really wants his space, his privacy. And Mary Jane's like, listen, let's take the Snapchat and be a couple, power couple.
Yeah, no.
He's not going to turn it around?
No,
at all?
why should he?
And he made a lot of sense though this time.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of
Yeah.
times when he talks monotone, I get a little like, oh, come on, I want to see more personality out of him. But I kind of felt like at this point I was like, he made sense, everything that he said. And she was the one who was kind of being like, well, this is going to lead us to, more tabloid type stuff. This is good for my brand, So
Right.
I kind of was sympathetic for him at that
If
moment.
he jumps on the bandwagon, then he's gonna become like everybody else. And
Yeah.
you don't want
You don't
a
want
boo
that.
to be all, oh well, let's do this. Nah, you want to do it, but then she has to find that balance.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't want, because now people are gonna be dropping in his DMs, and she got to fight people.
Yeah, she's
off.
That's a
opening him
good
up
point.
to
Yeah,
it.
you
So,
can't
like,
be doing that. It's
Yeah.
not good.
I just think it's too soon to have everybody in your personal space.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody knew I was in a relationship, and then 6 months later, hey, I'm engaged.
Yeah.
We're like, what's going on? Because I think it's important for them to really be able to build a relationship. And my homegirl and I were actually laughing. She was like, they're just doing stuff so fast. And I was like, everybody in LA is doing stuff too fast. So I appreciate Justin wanting to take it slow and wanting to like keep their relationship private, because you don't know what's gonna happen, and you don't want everybody in your business.
Yeah.
Also on a like grown up level, like at what age do you need to do like a little Snapchat filter? Like that's a little corny anyway. Like 35 needs to be the cutoff. There should be a boomerang cutoff. I swear to you. But you're only 22 years old, so what are you talking about?
Look, I don't like, nobody knows, I don't post pictures about anybody, like my relationship, nobody knows. Everybody knows I do something in the industry and I work out. Like I keep it very, I might shoot some dog filters here and there, but nothing serious. But it's kind of those annoying ones where people post those selfies every day, like, hi. Like, and they're not doing nothing. That's when it annoys me. Like, you know, kind of be about your business, and then, you know, also show the little fun side. But you're never too old for dogs.
And it did sound like they're going to switch it up because it's going to go to a more curated version, which, you know, we see the professional curated versions of Instagram all the time. So I guess that's the happy medium in this situation.
Yeah, because at least he just didn't throw it all the way out of the window. He was still kind of open to the idea of it. With Mary Jane, I just felt like it kind of, it got to her head a little bit too much, because then it was just all about her.
She was just
good for my brand, and and that was the thing. She was in love, and like she said, like, this is like a good one for me, and I finally get to broadcast it,
right?
And,
it's
you know,
like,
show my
it's been
love.
2 weeks, like, calm down,
right?
No. Well, she's just too much. But she did. I like how they switched iPads. Justin said, "Listen, I want to trust you a little bit more." Mary Jane said, "Oh, okay, let's trust." So he said, "Let's switch iPads." Of course, she wasn't really feeling it, as we see, because she gave Justin the wrong passcode.
Here's what you need to do.
Oh, you want to switch with your man?
Here's what you need. Oh, I don't mind now because I learned my lesson. So if you have the penis gallery, you have a separate folder that he can't even find. So even if you give him the password, he doesn't even know where to look because it's not even there.
Yes.
So you need the.
So what do you do, like a decoy folder or something?
Yeah.
And then that folder has a passcode.
I had a gallery.
Different one.
So you don't call it eggplant folder.
Nah,
You just...
I had a gallery, and I'm so upset that I erased it for my last boyfriend because it's like, man, they were like, you know, beautiful looking penises, and now they're all gone. And it's like, dang, I wish I would have known that before, because I was like, all right, cool, you know.
Right.
Did
And
you
now
have more or less than Mary Jane? Because she had like 45.
Way more than that.
No, she had more than 45.
Yeah.
She had more.
Have you ever sent one out, Howard?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, DP.
Yes.
I'm laughing.
No, but why is it?
Show your face. Huh?
No, boy, I get them. I don't send them.
Well, all right.
You sent one out?
I just sent one out.
Go ahead.
Just one. It was with the good
I thought
lighting,
you
though.
said you just sent one out.
Good lighting, no.
Because I mean, because
find
I will be. I will be all the way honest. You know, I'm not a bigger gentleman in that area, and I know who I am, and I love myself, right? And people love me too.
There you go.
This after
Right, come
dark
on.
is too much.
Be vulnerable and in your truth.
Come on,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you. She knows it. So then there was this one particular time I was doing the little chatting, and it was a reason to send, and I evaluated the way I had done, and the lighting was great, and I said, "That's cute. It looks good. It looks fly." So I send it, and it was received.
Fly. I've never heard a penis described as looking fly.
Well, I mean, there
have a top hat on.
are good looking penises, and there are some that you, not so much.
Because that's the truth. There's some giant ones that don't look. Oh, we can't talk about penises. We can't talk about penises.
No, there's just something going in the background that we can hear you guys in the booth.
Oh.
Right. I thought it was an alarm.
I thought
Like,
it was. You're talking about penis too much. You're talking about penis too much.
It was part of the show. All right.
Keep it a little PG.
Yeah,
Back
okay.
on track.
All right.
Respect the
All
lighting,
right.
though. I'll give you that. You have to find that right angle. Make it glisten.
Angles are important.
Yeah.
Well,
I am a little embarrassed now.
Wait,
That's
what
so
were we
funny.
talking about again?
Yeah.
So what she should have done
You're right.
is that she should have had a separate folder where he couldn't even find it, and all those emails, like even if you're not in a relationship, if it's a certain account, like that should be in another folder anyway. So all she had to do is go in that folder and delete it, like
Right.
in like 2 seconds. So you need to be prepared, ladies. You can't just have it all messy. It's not cute.
that's true.
And I think she was also shocked that he was so giving. Like, fine, here's my
Yeah.
stuff. So that really threw her for a loop too. She didn't expect that from him.
Yeah, that's why she
Yeah.
gave him that fake passcode.
I mean, the only reason she gave him the passcode, or where they had this little discussion, is because he found out about her snooping, and that he's worth $30 million.
She thought she could be slick with
Yeah,
that, but
she's so
that wasn't
messy.
even slick. And Justin is
slick.
so like
Yeah.
he's so on top of his stuff. Like he knows. Like they never said how
Right.
much money it was.
Exactly.
I don't know if
$30
she's
million.
being slick. I think she really genuinely like slipped up. I don't think she was trying to like slip it in there that
Nah,
she knew.
I think she was
Wait,
kinda
you
like,
thought
this
what?
is the moment. Like so before
Oh,
she was trying to figure out how to bring it up about the $30 million, and she had Aaliyah looking into it. Like so, what? How, where did this money come from?
Right.
So I felt like in that moment, for me, I took it as she felt like this was an opportunity.
I thought
So
it
they're
was,
talking about it on the, all the tabloids or whatever are talking about it. So let me slip that.
I thought it was
in.
an accident. I thought she was in
Yeah.
the conversation, and it was like, great, let's let everyone know your truth. And it just happened to be, things she was not supposed to tell.
Right.
Maybe that's just my pettiness. Come on.
I think she had been holding it in for a long time, and it it just, you know, sometimes you're like holding that thing in and then it just comes out and you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe I just said that out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she has a lot of those moments, which I love.
She does, though.
Yep. So would you exchange iPads with your significant other?
I would.
I would.
I feel like you're
don't
supposed to
have
say
anything to
yes.
Well, I think the person, I think that the person can have your passcode, because if you're in an authentic relationship, like if you have the passcode, you wouldn't even like go into that person's, because it's like, all right, well, I know they're not trying to hide anything. It's when you do those kind of things where like, oh, you're on the phone and then your significant other walks in the room and you put the phone down, like that's kind of shady. So it's like the other passcode is what it is. What are you trying to hide?
Right, when you act more free with the situation, no one really has like, oh, what am I going to get on them? When you act like the mother, that's when you want the passcode, you know?
Yeah, speaking of mama. I didn't know this whole thing with the parents was gonna turn into so juicy.
Listen.
I'm loving
It
this
was all
part.
good. Even the music at the beginning, like taking us back, I was like, oh
I
God.
said, BT trying to take it there.
Grown up love is just something I want to watch more often. How about that?
Not so much.
I don't.
You know? No, I thought, come on. No one?
Cute.
It's cute, but I don't want to see that all the time.
I enjoyed it because it helped me see like why Mary Jane is the way that she is. But I'm not really interested in.
Nobody wants to see. Nobody wants to see Depends flying all over the
Shade.
I think there's a lot of. I think we just have ingrained in us this idea of what sexy looks like on camera, and I'm trying to like, you know, wean myself into the idea of seeing older, sexy.
It's definitely different. We don't see it a lot, you know.
Yeah.
This one was a complicated situation though, because it did have you as a viewer saying like, what if, you know, well, what if? That's what they were
It's
saying.
messy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, so our elders are also messy. They are just as messy. Did you know that there's a higher STD rate? I think it's, is it syphilis?
in the old people's home.
In the old people's home.
They hand out condoms there. They
getting it in.
They're getting it in.
I thought I heard that, but I thought it was like an Instagram fake meme.
No,
That's the
it's
real.
real.
Yes.
Old people's
Yes.
home and people who have disabilities, they hang out condoms in there as well. Yeah, because you know when you ain't got nothing to do, you might as well do somebody else. I like that. You should hashtag that.
That actually was a pretty good one.
I'm done.
I can't wait to do this show with us when we're all drinking or something. Like we because I feel like I'm drinking a little bit right now.
You don't want that. It's gonna go way left.
So with Mama Helen, we saw that she says she's going to a Jack and Jill meeting, and she
Jack
goes,
for sure.
left Jill at the house. But she goes and meets up with Frank. They get a little lunch. It's nice. It's something simple. I'm still trying to figure out why she opened up this door. She keeps saying, oh, it happened 40 years ago, 44 years ago. Well, why didn't you leave it back then?
Right.
Because he got that pipe.
Yeah.
Oh my God, El Marie.
That's
Marie.
what somebody just said on the live chat. His peanut must have been the best ever. Or 40 years ago, that still makes you weak.
But also, and then that's even what she said to Paul. Like he's been the flame for her. He's been that, you know, that fire.
But when does the fire die down?
Never.
It just doesn't.
There's always that one person.
It is kind of like that. You always have something.
Well, I
for.
wondered what the situation was. I mean, we don't know too much about it. They were best friends. Then Frank went away. Like, I feel like was she just hurt? Like the part of her that was hurt before she moved on to Paul. Like I felt like by seeing him, it was her like payback. Not even to anyone. Like who loses in that situation? Just her, because Frank gets the nut, which is fine, and Paul, you know, of course, has an issue, and but she loses. But no, let's try to follow her story. Like if you think about her, like she's the one who lost out, you know, all those years ago. So she had a lot of hurt that was built up. So when she saw that old thing, or as you said, digmatized.
Yeah.
You know, she had to go back to that and redeem something. It wasn't smart, but it was what we do as people.
But how do we feel it with Frank? Okay, Frank and Paul were best friends.
Right.
So what's the situation there? I mean, it wasn't like Frank passed away and then, you know, Paul swooped in there. Like that was your best friend's girl. So, you know, why did he think it was okay to kind of move in there, you know, as well?
Right.
So I'm on the fence with their situation. Like even though, yes, Paul married her and they've been together, they have the marriage, but at the same time, like, you kind of like, that's a little sneaky to me. Like
because
you took your best
messy.
friend's girl.
That was messy at some
Yeah.
point too, and you know, so just because we see it in the present day,
Right.
like,
Well,
you know,
Paul probably seems like that good guy. Like he's always that good guy. So he's probably, you know, Captain Save-A-Ho. And it's just like,
Maybe.
you know, it's like Frank probably did something dirty to her, and she was in that
And he was
moment,
probably always-
and Paul rescued her.
Yeah, he might have always been in the cut, like he don't treat you right.
Yeah.
One of those type of
Yeah.
things.
The one that the 70s R&B singer.
Yeah.
he was in the background.
Yeah, so he probably like, you know, saved her, and she was like, oh my gosh, and you know, 2 kids, 3 kids later,
I know.
fall back on the penis again 40 years later. Terrible.
Poor penis. Well,
It was good lighting, that's all. She had to have it.
Lord. So then we see that Paul ends up inviting Frank over for lunch.
He did that on
he ain't
purpose,
slow.
though.
Yes, because
Yeah.
he knew off of the phone calls that
Yeah.
the phone was ringing, stop ringing, and she telemarketed, you know. But clearly it wasn't. It was Frank calling the house. So here they are, all at lunch in the house, and Helen and Frank giving googly eyes at each other. She makes the greens, you know, make some greens.
That must have
for
been
you.
his favorite.
That'd be something if she made his favorite food. Frank's
She
favorite.
did.
Also, what's the greens?
Yeah.
Oh,
Terrible.
nasty.
Yeah,
Just so
I
messy.
feel like
It's very
she
messy.
should have like talked to Niecy or somebody, like just, hey, like how cheating 101. Like if you're gonna do it, like, you know, don't do it at a time where Paul's not home. Like, what? Don't.
Yeah.
You know, you in your Sunday's best and you going out, you fluffing
Right.
up your boobs, and then you saying you go to some meeting and you
Right.
never look like that when you go to the other meetings, but this meeting somehow you look like you going out,
Practicing
and then you come
what you're
back.
saying.
Yeah, she probably didn't wash herself off, so she smells like another man. Like it's just all
But
messy.
she don't know.
Right, she
don't
needs to
know.
look it up though. She can't. I know she's watching these soap operas. Like,
Right.
learn
Right.
something. It's not like she doesn't watch TV at all. Like, damn.
Call your daughter.
Yeah.
MJ, how you doing this?
I wasn't going to say it, but
Figure it out. Like, it was just all the way. Like, she didn't, like, there was no point. Like, I don't know what part of her thought she was, like, that wasn't going to be seen.
Yeah. Poor Helen.
telling
And it looks like she just was digging a little hole for herself because Paul figures out, you know, what's going on. He's like, did you sleep with your lover? And all she said is, I love you, you know.
Yeah.
And then
That Shaggy song, it wasn't me.
Yeah, like,
Gotta-
like
Damn.
just lie, girl.
Exactly.
No, I did not sleep with him.
No. I didn't have
We ain't
sexual
sleep.
relations with that man.
Yeah, I was not
We
asleep
did not
at
sleep.
all. I was on it, but yeah, she tried though. She tried to like dig her way into something. I thought. I mean,
Good.
what'd she say? Like the flame and the this and the that. I mean,
Yeah.
at least I don't know. Like I'm not giving her any credit, but at the same time, like at least she did present
Maybe
as
'cause
much honesty as she could.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she was honest about
Yeah.
it.
Well,
because
it's
she
kind of
knows she hurt him.
yeah. Well, I kind of feel if you come to this point, like you have to live your life to the fullest, no matter how messy it is. And he almost you know, obviously you probably know how it all goes down, but it almost feels like Paul gives her, you know, gives her that out. Like, okay, for 40 years, you know, we've been in this marriage, and maybe your heart was pining for this guy. Like, go and do whatever you need to do because I'm not here for it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, live. She might be happy though.
Maybe. Oh, he threw me though when he came down the stairs with those bags. It's like,
right.
"Ooh, Paul's
Well,
leaving."
that's
he
pretty-
said, "No, this is for you."
Yeah.
But we saw that was good, and we saw that on the trailer from. Yeah, did you not see the
Yeah.
trailer from?
I missed
Yeah,
that.
that's
I missed
what I
that.
saw.
Oh, I missed that.
But no, that's what I was saying. How good it was, even how I reacted, because I remembered on the trailer. Yet when I saw it, I like forgot. It was that. It was that like oh shit, you know, shoot type moment.
Well, I mean, Paul took care of her, paid the bills.
Right,
and
that's
all
his
that.
house.
Yeah.
That's
True.
his house.
Very true.
I mean, he did everything while she was sick and all this other stuff. And again, you can't really help who you love per se. So it's like, and he didn't do anything crazy. He's like, nah, if you want to, you know, do this and keep on falling on Frank's penis, then go ahead. Like,
And I forgot about her being sick for a little while, so that just adds like salt to the
Yeah.
wound.
Yeah.
Like I took care of you. Like I took care of you in the sense that you were my wife. You know, had kids. We took care of the family, but I also like you got sick. You were down and out, and I was
Right.
there.
and he could have went and hopped in something else while she was sick.
Because he had that little,
Yeah.
he did have a little temptation. Some woman that came sniffing around, and he didn't even go for it.
Because he's that nice guy.
Oh, Paul's a good man.
He is a good man.
I'm interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, who's gonna end up with Paul? Raimi?
Aw.
No.
Paul's going to get him some
mean,
young
Aaliyah,
thing. Something like Mary Jane's age. Like, Paul's going to...
No, but not even. I mean, what about them staying together though? I mean, you guys really think they're gonna break up?
I think he's gonna take a moment.
I
for
think we're
himself.
so
He's
too.
going to take
Yeah.
a moment.
Yeah, we're gonna see a
Like
modern situation.
how heartbreaking is that? After like it's one thing after maybe 5 years. It's terrible either way. But 40 years, like essentially your whole marriage feels like a sham.
Yeah, but after some time, that's even all the more reason why they will continue to stay together, because it's just one of these things that is part of their messy situation. Like I feel like they've invested this many years. I think he is going to get to a point where he is okay with it. That's just my thought.
She has a lot of making up to do.
I think he does have the type of personality where he will eventually forgive her.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I don't know.
Like, it's not right, and we are seeing more relationships that are okay with these indiscretions. Like, it's not good,
Yeah,
but
but that's today's society.
that's true.
Like back in the day, I feel like, you know, the wife or whoever might have known, but you don't have the audacity to kind of like, it didn't feel as messy. Today, everybody's like, nah, like, you know, it was free
True.
love.
I disagree.
You think it's the
Papa
opposite?
was a Rolling Stone was a song for a reason.
Right, but there's a lot of families who are not figuring out, because I think I have one friend, they didn't realize that they had like another family until the father died. Like that's a common story.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like,
Oh, wow.
So you mean they kept it secret?
They kept it secret to the extent where like the wife might have known, but he didn't like bring it home. You know, you don't have the Instagram thoughts all over the place. Like you don't have all that like it is today.
So it's basically the same as you're saying. It's just it's more out in the open.
Yeah. Well, you know, some people are out in the open. It's just when you have a conversation. Because now a lot of people are going to the open relationship stuff, but that's just to combat the cheating. So.
Right. Are any of you guys okay with the open relationship?
Absolutely not.
No.
No.
Well,
TK?
Here's my. I have a couple things.
Okay.
There's different pockets for different things depending on who you're dating. I feel like if you are dating somebody who is of, you know, money and good looking and all this other stuff, you know, it's like putting a fat kid in an ice cream shop. I feel like if the possibility is there, you have a couple options. Because I'm kind of crazy, right? So it's just like either take your time and very carefully never let me find out, else you will die, or just let me know what the deal is. Because then if that's the case, then I can respect the honesty. Not to say that I won't be upset about it, but I can respect the honesty. Just don't like have me out in the streets
right.
and some chick is going to approach me, because then there's going to be some issues. So it's not necessarily I agreed to an open relationship, but I rather have the honesty and you genuinely say like, look, you know, it was there, like I'm sorry and all this other stuff, and try to make it work versus me find out some back channel.
Yeah.
And vice versa. I mean, Pablo might look good in the pool. Like, look, I fell on his penis. I'm sorry. This is what happened.
That's true. It works for some couples, so
saying.
go ahead. I don't knock it, do you? But a relationship that is closed is Kara, in Orlando. I love that they text still. He's still madly in love, even though she did him kind of dirty in the past. They're still together. Kara's on her couch trying to just text her man, have a good night's in, and next thing you know, here comes the little ball of wives sneaking in there. Hey, girl, turn up. Whoop. She's like, wait a minute, sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on.
With the mask.
Got the mask on. I'm watching my shows, which was Carly B, the Ratchet Show.
Right. I was like, is she watching that show?
And we see her friends move in and just swoop in. How would y'all feel if you
First
up
you
here
need
trying
to
to have
call.
a lonely night,
Yeah.
and here come two people who you're not really cool with, just barging in, drinking up your drink?
I wouldn't even answer the door though. You would need to call first.
Yeah, I would have been in the
Yeah.
peephole,
Yeah.
like,
I wouldn't even look at the people. I don't know who's coming. It's 10 o'clock, like, and he's away. There ain't nobody else coming for me. Y'all can knock as long as you want.
Yeah.
And you can hear the music playing on the TV. I ain't coming to that door.
My friends know, do not come over here without an appointment.
Yeah.
If you do, bring popcorn, and we're watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But
Don't be all disrespectful.
Yeah.
you don't, because I like my me time. And when I'm in me time zone, like,
Yeah.
I don't really want to talk to
And
anyone.
she could have been getting the lighting right to send her some selfies.
Right, she was
I mean,
trying to
she could've
send
been
her
in the middle of
both some
something. Like, you know, getting that lighting right and the angle right.
the angle right.
Mid-picture.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
And don't try to make me go out. Listen,
Yeah.
if it's 10 o'clock and we haven't made plans to go out
yeah.
yet, I'm not going out.
Right.
I almost thought she was convincing them to, if anything, to stay at her house and just, like, hang out. But
Yeah.
to go out, like...
Yeah,
It's,
no.
it's not happening.
It's too much. It's too much. But we do see that the friends did go out. They went out for drinks. It looks like Kara was having a good time until Miss Becky over there kind of peeped up and said, "Oh, you and Orlando both have." Or what
yeah.
she say about
She
the
said
backside?
something.
Orlando
Yeah,
likes
because you
both
guys
of y'all.
both have,
Yeah, the
like
ass
a
and
good
the
butt or
titties.
something.
Right, and then she quickly covered it up and said, "Oh, but by the way, Kara, you have all of like
Yeah.
wait, there was some major information dropped.
Right.
Let's not scoot over that."
Yes.
There's a part of me that really likes Kara. I think I told you guys on the after show before. Like, I like her with those girls, even though they're completely not her. You know, she's a professional on Mary Jane, and I think when she got hurt by Mary Jane, in my mind, I said, you know, I do want her to venture and have other friends, and even friends that kind of, I don't want to say bring you down, but you know,
something different.
Let loose. So there's a part of me that does like her hanging out. I just don't want her to have too much pressure because she feels old and she's finding out all these secrets.
Yeah, I think he should have told her if he knew that she was going to be in the circle. He should like, look, you know, it was nothing. You know, it just happened. It was drawn. Like, I have no feelings towards this chick, but I just want you to know. Like, that's where we're going to have beef. It's just like, you know, we're all in the same circle. This chick's in there. You don't have, and I'm looking at Boo Boo the Fool.
Yeah. But she shouldn't have had to find out that way.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. And they're trying to build that friendship. So it's like, come on.
And that was the one girl she kind of was cool with. So remember, those girls were hard for her to get along with. There she had one, and then...
I mean, she even had her back during the hot flash moment. You know, she's like, yeah, it is hot in here. Get some water, you know. So she's really sweet, but so.
But maybe that's why she was trying to befriend her, because it's like,
because she
I know the situation is awkward, so let me try to befriend you. I think we've all kind of had that experience of some girl that tries to be our friend, and then you find out.
Yeah.
And she sure didn't have to do the details either. We didn't need it, like, slow. Like, I barely don't even want to hear this, but now you're going to tell me how you did it?
Yeah.
I don't want to know about that.
Yeah, I don't need the details. And it should have come from
It feels like it's going to
Orlando.
really hurt Kara, too. Like, she's going through a lot, so I'm a little worried about, you know, the menopause and the father.
But thankfully, she and Mary Jane are speaking again.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it's the pills.
What happened with when she did she bang her head or something at the end? What was that situation? You guys?
Oh, she stopped using the sleeping pills.
Yeah, but why did she go? Oh darn, my head hurts right now. Like I'm not thinking way ahead, but I'm wondering is something okay? Because there's some health issue. No, you didn't catch that part.
I saw that.
I saw it, yeah. I thought like a headache, and it came from the not taking the sleeping pills.
No diseases.
Hey,
to live, damn it.
I love Lisa Vidal since I like it like that. But no, she's great. But no, I just was wondering if that I wouldn't want to see that. No, not at all.
Yeah. No, I think it was just the whole like side effects from sleeping pills.
I hope so. I mean,
now you got us thinking, damn.
I was concerned.
Do you think Aaliyah is gonna try to take Kara's spot? I know that they all want to try to be friends, but do you think is she gonna slip in there and be like, nah, girl?
That's so interesting, because somebody was tweeting about that recently. Like, I feel like she gonna backstab Mary Jane and Kara. I'm like, I'm just trying to do my job and be a friend.
I don't trust you, Aaliyah, girl.
You know, right now I'm just trying to stay in my lane, be a publicist, do my job well.
Right.
Mary Jane and I are becoming friends now, which is awesome, and it seems like Kara's a little bit more open to me, but I don't know. I don't know. I think it would be interesting for them to take my character that way, just so there's an additional, bump in the road.
Well, the possibility is there because now you have access to all those secrets. Like as you become friends, certain things slip out. You might see certain things, and so now you have access to all those secrets. So you can either say screw it and I want to go somewhere else, or you don't really know. You never know until somebody backstabs you if they're a friend or not. Same thing with divorce. You never know how ugly a person is until you get divorced, and you're like, oh. You're an asshole. Didn't realize that. Thank you for letting me know. Like,
it would be fun to see if that happened. Like, what would cause us to have a big break?
And I know the Aaliyah character always, there's an intrigue about her always. You're always like, is she a good girl? Like, I always want to know more about her. I always want to know, like, does she have a child? Like, what's her situation? You know what I mean?
have it. Aaliyah comforts Justin and falls on his penis.
I personally am not opposed to that.
Girl, come back and tell us about that, right? Damn. They did a close-up on it. I was like, yes.
And what you put in the universe will come back. So when we recap the next season, oh, man.
I wasn't for light-skinned dudes, but him, sweet Jesus. Thank you, Lord. I love it.
He's a very handsome fellow.
Oh, yeah. It seems like his eyes, like, you might get lost. Like, you see people's eyes, and like they talking, but you not really like all you see them naked. Like that's what it seems to me. Like I'm looking at your eyes, but now all of a sudden you naked. Like,
is that your favorite thing about him too?
Yeah, because he's naked right now.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, we can have a good night tonight.
What do we call this show? After Hours? Okay.
Yes. AFTERBUZZ.
All right.
Might die next week.
Speaking about Justin in his eyes, Lord. We see towards the end that he is devastated by Chatty Kathy, who sent out a post of Justin's old girlfriend. There's always that one friend from high school
That's not a
who
friend.
is jealous, or that one hater who's, y'all need to know.
Yeah.
So we see that she sends out a post of the old girlfriend, who's not really a looker, I guess you would say, in some people's eyes. But that doesn't stop Mary Jane from being like, okay, listen, like, she's cool, don't go in on her. But Justin is not feeling it. He decides to pretty much run away from the situation. Go to Paris.
Well,
He's hurt.
I don't think he's hurt by Mary Jane. It's just the whole, he was not about the social media, and this is one of the reasons why he wasn't about it.
When you say no to something and you still kind of go with it for the sake of your significant other, and then something bad like that happens, it becomes your, the breaking straw where you're like, see, I told you. One cool thing that she did do, though, she did make attempts early on when she did the decoy with the dinner. I thought that was, we don't get to see Mary Jane always make good moves, so that was
because at the first with the dinner, I was like, no, Mary Jane, please stop. You know what I mean? He's already expressing to you that this is a bit much for him, and so like you don't want to lose him. We know you don't have a good track record when it comes to men, so like just kind of fall back a little bit, find a good balance in that. So I was glad to see that she kind of faked out the paparazzi. I was like, okay, good, because she was tripping at first.
Yeah. Poor Mary Jane. I mean, I don't know. Did he really need to go to Paris though?
He just clear his head. When it's worth $30 million, you go to Paris.
Right?
I mean, he's going there to work. Like when I saw it last week, I thought he was just going. Like,
that's what I thought too.
So at least he's going there for work, and he said he's gonna go back. But the thing, here's the issue: when your significant other is leaving town or leaving the country, you're supposed to give him some before you leave.
Yeah.
And he just left
with a kiss on the side of the
cheek. I was like, oh, that's like the kiss of death.
Right. So that means like now you leaving, and in a day or so you're gonna get like all.
She's spiraling. She's spiraling.
Yeah.
Because he didn't leave with the I'm tired, I'm good. Like the memory. Like he left like. And you don't get the nookie. Somebody else might be getting it in Paris.
And you're stressed about what they're saying about your ex, who who she now knows was like the love.
And she doesn't know about the mother yet too. So I mean, it's gonna be when she learns of that information.
Her mom.
Yeah. So there's a lot of and Mary Jane type situations.
Mary Jane.
That's not good.
So I want to know a little bit more, Raney, about this role. For Aaliyah. How did you audition? Was it a sunny day? Was it raining? What was going on? Take me about that day of auditioning.
So funny enough, my friend that's in studio with me, she and I ran it a bunch of times. And I felt really connected to it because to me, she's like a young woman who's about her business. She's very professional. She's really grounded. She's a very grounded woman. And, right now, I feel like the media is getting towards a place of really understanding that women's stories come in many different shades and many different shapes. So that was exciting for me. So on the day, I don't know, I think we ran it a bunch of times over the phone, and then I went to the casting office, and they've cast me before on stuff. So it was a great room to be in. And yeah, I just did it, and they were like, yes. And I was like, yes, hair was snatched, I had on my cute little jumpsuit that I liked. And it was fun. It was really fun. And I'm so grateful to have booked the part because it took me back to Atlanta for 3 months. Like I said, I didn't know how many episodes I was shooting. I thought I was just going to be in 1 or 2. Yeah. And it ended up being 8. And I was home with my family for 3 months. And I was with my boyfriend, and he's, we're now engaged. And I was like, yes, okay.
Look at that.
So,
Very,
very nice, yes. And I think Aaliyah is somebody that a lot of girls can really relate to. In fact, people are hitting me up so much, oh my God, thank you so much for being on the show. I'm like, really? Okay, that's cool. But when I really think about it, she and Mary Jane are the black women in an all-white environment. I have to play this certain role to make sure that we look a certain way, and I've got to help the black woman that's on air look a certain way. And there is that pressure for us to act accordingly when you're in that space. We have to code switch. We can't get upset. There was the episode a few weeks ago where she goes off on Danny, and it's like, but Danny is the one making insensitive racially. I don't think that Danny understands that her privilege and her upbringing makes her say really dumb stuff, just like the girls that were at Howard the other day with the Make America Great Again hats. I'm like, I don't think that those high school girls actually knew that what they were doing was completely wrong, because the little world that they live in, the little bubble that they're in, they don't see black people. They don't understand what has been going on. I was in Minnesota recently, which I love, but there were no people of color there where I was, and I was like, I get it now. I get how someone can literally grow up in an environment where there's not a single person that doesn't look like them there and not understand struggle. And it's not like they're learning our history in school, so I'm not surprised. So the Danny character, I feel like even though she's a villain to us, because it's painful what she says, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She has no clue.
There is that issue where, a lot of people don't know what exactly they're saying. I was telling them before, like, I've lived in LA and New York. The only other place I lived was Arizona, and it was during election time. And, like, there was people saying such ignorant stuff. I'm, like, from the big city, liberal, like, just me, and the things I would hear, I'm like, do you know how insensitive that is? Like, do you know that what you're saying is absolutely crazy? And they really had no clue. So my heart was like hurt, but also like they, I only had the option to educate them, I guess, in that way.
It's the whole bless your sweetheart.
Yeah.
It really is. And so I feel like Aaliyah in that moment had to like put on the big girl panties and be like, look, sis, I know that you're on the right, but we can't do that. We don't get to be that person. Like, you are the leader of this show. People are watching you, and they're looking for a reason to take you down. So you can't do that. And I feel like a lot of women of color have had to have that same conversation at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't. Sometimes you can't even have those conversations because people just don't understand. Like, you don't even have an ally in the office. It's just people have no idea.
Yeah.
It's like you can't be yourself. There is that code switching, and people just don't understand because now it's like, oh well, you speak so proper. It's like, nah, I'm just catering to you because I need to get this money.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. I got real life bills.
Yeah. So it's people don't even understand. Even when it comes to hair.
Listen.
Child.
Was that your hair on the show, or what?
No. So the head of hair is an amazing woman named Wankia, and I had a conversation. I was like, look, I want to wear natural hair, but I don't. Y'all know how it is. You keep manipulating your hair, it messes everything up, and then one day I have like perfect curls, and then the next day it's like, wait, what?
What happened?
But I twisted my hair. I did everything the same way. I use the same product, but today it's like whatever. So I actually wore a wig that was created by one of the other stylists on the show, and it was fun. We got to play with a lot of different natural hairstyles. There was an episode where I had my hair pulled up that I was like, yes, and have recreated it myself for my own hair.
Yeah.
So that was
and
fun.
I love that too, seeing a natural look. Even though it's a wig, like you said, we kind of have to still even protect our hair from even when we're doing natural style. So, but I love to see that. We're seeing that more and more with a few shows, like Black women with natural hairstyles and protective styles, and I love that.
In a professional environment.
Yes.
I remember a few years ago, there was a movie where the lead, her hair was natural, because she was a stay-at-home mom and she was like going through life and struggling. And then when she got her job, she straightened her hair. And then you see Olivia Pope when she's on vacation, her hair is curly. But then when she's getting business done, it's straight. And I'm like,
straight,
And I get that. And I think that's the beauty of being a Black woman. Like, we can wear our hair 12 different ways and be the same person. But I want us to get to the point where we like appreciate our natural beauty.
Yeah.
Like, God gave me this curly hair, so I need to be able to wear this to work. I shouldn't have to feel like I can only wear it at home.
Right. Yeah, during downtime or something like that. Yeah, I agree.
Well, we'll see.
We're getting there. It's progress.
And again, I'm talking about the corporate world, because
you
know, for us, like, we can wear our hair however we want.
Thank you, Jesus, for that. But natural hair.
It's a task. Some people are like, isn't that easier? I'm like,
no, it's a process. You there at 11 o'clock at night, you have to be at work at 4, and you're twisting this mouth, and you're like, I have nothing else to do because I need to look presentable, but like I'm spending 30 minutes twisting my hair. Like it's people don't understand. And dudes talking about you shouldn't wear weaves. Like, come and do my hair for me.
Thank you. Yeah. You get tired. Your arms will get tired. I don't care how much you lift in the gym. Those arms are getting tired.
And the conditioning and the super condition and
You know when a man loves you when he will scratch your scalp, he will help you take your weave out, he will help you braid your hair, and he will remind you to put your silk satin cap on. So.
Yeah.
He's like,
What's going on? Silk pillowcase, yeah. And then he puts his do-rag on.
Right.
That could be matched.
That's black love right there.
Both y'all up in the bed, just hair wrapped.
Everybody's hair is wrapped. That's black love right there. Ain't no Becky's in this bed.
Mine was just like, okay. Sorry. I was just like, Ronnie's just like, oh.
No. I'm in the conversation. Don't worry.
Sorry, I got real militant for a second.
That's all right.
Did I what?
Did you understand everything, or do you need because there might be some people
No,
out there that
I've always been following Michaela Angela Davis on Instagram for a long time. So I've seen even before the "Don't Touch My Hair" song came out, I've always seen her as an image activist, what she was trying to promote. That was during that time. So. I'm with it, and me as a American Latino, I have my own issues and stuff and these things, yeah. But thank you for caring.
Yeah, I was just, and don't touch the hair.
Oh my gosh, I was at
With
work.
that said, a great song though.
I was at my other job a little while ago, and my coworker came in with a curly weave, but still my manager was like, I guess he asked to touch it first, and then she was like, no, and he was like, can I pet it? I was in an office chair at the time. I said, I know you did not just ask to pet her hair. And I was like, and I understand sometimes people we were just talking about, they just don't know and they don't get it.
Right.
But it's still pet though.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a fascination. Somebody equated it to, how you see a pregnant woman and you kind of want to touch their belly. I feel the same thing when you're wearing a fro. People look at it and you could see them really wanting to touch the fro, and they're trying to figure out how to get to that point. And it's just dude, you need to get yourself some black friends, and then you won't feel that urge. It's just...
And it's all context, because I have no problem going up to people asking if I can touch their hair, but it's because I'm a black woman. We're dealing with natural hair products.
Right.
I just want to see, are you crunchy today? Is that a wash and go?
But that's different because, there's an understanding there. I had one girl, Allie, she used to be on this panel. She came up and she put her whole hand in. I'm like, girl...
Massage it while
you you know better, but I know so we're good. But it's just it's that whole I love the fact now that we have come to that place where we can wear afros and stuff, and we can. There's so many different mediums for us to see how we can manipulate it, and products we can use and all this other stuff. So I love that we're getting to that point where locks and all this stuff that wasn't really accepted maybe 5 years ago because everybody was wearing a weave. Now you're seeing just different varieties all over the place. So it's definitely a beautiful thing. So, but
Well, I just have one more question about your character. Aaliyah, do you think she's going to find love? Are we going to see any type of relationship, maybe a little quickie or something?
It's interesting because I had a line in one of the episodes, but I think it was changed about that, and maybe that's something that we'll explore next season.
And I feel unless you guys know, we can't gauge how old she is, and I mean, I would also be okay with her being open to both sexes. I mean, this is a progressive situation. Yeah, I could see it maybe with the character.
On that carpet. I feel like she's either in her late 20s.
Yeah.
You're still experiencing life, but because we have to deal with certain things that other people don't have to deal with, you're a little bit more mature.
Yeah.
And she's about keeping her job, and she's about doing her business. And I remember before I got into the workplace, somebody told me you have to work twice as hard. I didn't understand it until I was there, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I'm seeing what you're saying. And it's just kind of you have to.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if they're not like you, they're not rooting for you, and when it comes time to the chopping block, you're gone. So you have to do those things. Somebody on the live chat says, I think Justin's ex is dead, and
thought that too.
Yeah, that's why he went to Paris.
I thought that too, and also when he was talking about her, But when the picture surfaced, that threw me off. It's like, oh, okay, well, maybe not. But the way he was talking about her and like you take things for granted, it didn't seem like he took her for granted and they broke up and, that relationship was just no more. But the way he was saying it just seemed like she might be dead.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but we'll see.
It was really weird.
Or she might be in Paris.
Or she might be in Paris.
It almost like had me thinking like he was so invested in Mary Jane at that moment, but thinking back about the one from back in the day, it was like his mind actually, because the question she asked, his mind had to say, I only love somebody to that degree that one time.
Right.
So it was almost like she asked too many questions.
Yeah, I was kind of like,
she was digging.
Yeah, a little too deep.
Let's get into some predictions briefly and real quick. I want to start it off. Miss TK, what do you predict for next season? We saw a lot going on.
Next season?
I mean, sorry, my bad. Next episode.
I just got here, damn it. Oh my gosh. I mean, I think just the way they've set it up, Mary Jane's gonna screw up again. And, I don't think this is gonna last, and she's gonna push him away, and, it's gonna be all her fault again. Because he's trying. But again, how that relationship started, it didn't start off she was with somebody else. So, somebody else is going to kind of enter into the picture. I definitely think with Kara, well, I don't know. I'm kind of confused with that whole situation. And then Mama need her life too. So she's going to beg her way back, but maybe Paul's not going to take her back, and then she's going to just go and live her life. And then she's going to realize that the guy was a jerk, because every person at one point kind of wants the bad boy. And then they realize that the bad boy doesn't have good credit. He got like 5 kids.
He's staying with his mama.
Staying with his mom. You gotta go and pick him up.
Right.
He ain't paying for dinner.
Right.
Everybody's like, he might have been great when you were all like 17, but he's not. It's not cute now.
Right.
The big penis can only go so far.
That's so funny. I was just talking to my friends about
big
a similar
penis?
situation. Kind of. Or like the penis that can ruin your life, But like that one that like, oh, it's so good. That flame that gives you, so excited.
Yeah,
but like you
but that
said,
flame
like
can't take
they
you
don't
to
have
eat,
their
though.
life together. Yeah. You need a Paul in
And
your life.
then it gets all, old and wrinkly. You can't do nothing with it.
RJ.
Where do you go from great penises? Because I'm stuck on the penis right now.
Proper lighting.
Hey, baby, hey.
Y'all on HBO. I'm up here trying to have a Disney Channel, maybe a little bit of MTV. And y'all take me straight to Star.
I can't wait to watch this. I want to count how many times we've said penis.
And y'all watch and drink every time.
Right?
I am sweating for sure. Okay, so what I think for predictions, I'm gonna kind of narrow in on the Patrick situation, only because it really caught my attention in the preview or the season preview. I feel like there's no way as viewers we all are gonna just hate the mother. There's got to be something with Paul, maybe. And the only reason I say that is because Paul said to Patrick, something. They got in an argument, right, in the trailer. And Patrick goes, oh, you've caused something that was a sham my whole life. So I don't want to say that what she did is validated, but do we know if Paul did something that set the whole family crazy? I mean, it's a stretch, but I'm very intrigued by the Patrick thing, because I'm thinking whose dad is really Patrick? This is what I need to know.
Yeah.
It's weird because I'm not as invested for next episode in Mary Jane as much as I want to know what's going on with with the old love.
I will say, when I read the script the first time, I was like,
I'm pretty close, right?
I wonder what's gonna happen next. You'll be.
Yeah.
Both of you guys will be surprised.
Okay, good.
Interesting. Well, I just kind of want to know where PJ is.
So, right? He's in Dubai, isn't he?
Yeah, he's in Dubai, but how? Is he gonna be in Dubai all season? It has his character been fired, and they just kind of don't know what to do with it. I don't know. I need some closure on PJ.
Yeah. He's
Also,
gonna come
he was
back,
my
totally
full eye
different
candy,
person.
right? He's gonna be a whole nother person.
Yeah.
They're gonna recast. So I'm just kind of want to know what's going on with
They
him.
need Justin with the shirt off more often too.
Have we seen that at all?
I'll let them know.
He's so
Yeah,
modest.
please, pass that
Yeah,
along.
good boxer shot, or even that shot where he gets up and you just see the bum.
I would like a shower scene.
Yes.
That'd be nice.
Or let's get a scene where he's grabbing Mary Jane's waist and hoisting her up.
Yeah,
Yes.
The football player. Remember the football player
we
hoisted
know. I
her?
gotta go
We
now.
need a good.
Oh my gosh,
Howard,
Thomas,
we need
Thomas Q. Jones. I met him in person. Jesus Christ. Yes.
We need a proper hoisting.
Yeah.
Yes,
but
we
then
do
the
need
flip,
that.
the hoist up on the shoulders.
Oh,
Whew.
It is really hot.
I don't know if he could do all that. What's his legs look like? Does he have sturdy legs or kind of like skinny legs?
Michael's got good legs.
All right.
Yep,
see,
they can
that's
have
like-
legs. Yep.
that's
Look,
some
and
boys.
she said the Aaliyah character, she could sure jump up on that. The Aaliyah character,
Yes.
yeah, don't worry about his legs. The Aaliyah character, she'll find a way up there.
Yeah, beige for life.
Oh, well, I feel like that's my prediction. I just need a shower
my
scene.
God.
Yes. Yeah. Ooh.
I'm just gonna say ditto to all of that. I don't have a big prediction. The most I got is maybe Cara is pregnant instead of the hot flashes.
Oh, that's
She
nice.
might be expecting because she said it's not menopause just yet. So
that last egg.
Yeah, because something's messing with her, yeah. That would be, that
And you
would
know
be
what?
good.
I hope that I like her and Orlando. So I hope that she kind of is able to kind of forgive him with that whole situation of not telling her about sleeping with the other girl or having a little thing with the other girl. So.
But again, he's. I'm not giving athletes and people like musicians excuses, but I mean, he has money. He's a hot-looking guy. He wasn't in a relationship. She was just a thing. So, like, she shouldn't be too upset. Like, he definitely should have told her, but she shouldn't be upset to the point where, like, this relationship is over.
Yeah.
And are they
but
even
only
that?
because,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Well, I
Are
was
they?
just gonna say only because they have because of how they were in the beginning.
Right.
So I feel like they're in a better place now, but because of where she was when they first started dating, I feel like it may be easy for her to just go back to that place.
Right.
Like, you know what? I wasn't too sure about this anyway.
Yeah.
I also felt like he couldn't, like, we want him to be truthful, right? But remember, you know, he walked out the door. She wasn't really ready for that real relationship. So by the time things did work out for the two of them, I don't know that he felt right. He might have not overthought it, but I don't think he felt right enough to say, oh, by the way, this is a situation you should know about. Because they're still new. You know what I mean?
And maybe he forgot about it. Maybe she wasn't that good. Like, oh, shoot, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can tell us, Raney, that you can tell us, but you can't really tell us? Listen, just give me a little bit.
Okay, well, how do you want to play
I
this
want
game?
to see.
Oh,
Well,
she's,
okay.
I like
Well,
her.
keep us about your character. What do we see her? What's the next thing she's gonna fix?
She's going to be on everybody.
You are really asking for a lot of
Oh,
details.
you know, just a little song, just a little.
I think you will see her meshing well with Mary Jane and Kara and just kind of being a part of the Mary Jane shenanigan train, but also knowing when to reel it in.
So maybe she's younger, but she's voice of reason-ish.
Yeah, she's definitely voice
Yeah.
of reason. I think she and Kara both are Mary Jane's grounding, but, you know, because I have the title of publicist,
Right.
it's like you have to listen to me.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to our Being Mary Jane after show. If you just found us on Instagram, if you just found us on iTunes and YouTube, hello. If you've been a fan, hello again. You can follow me, Howard the Third, on Twitter, Instagram.
So nice. You are so warm with people. It's
Well, you know, I want to tune back. All them penises, who knows who that?
Right? I was gonna say.
You know, I'm trying to at least get the teen audience back. Lord, you know, the mama can't watch them walk.
The teens didn't go anywhere if we were talking about penises.
It's the grandmama's.
Right. It's like, oh Lord, baby, they talk about all this penises.
You ain't
I
watching
got
that.
to go.
not if it was Mary Jane's mom. She'd be all the way tuned in.
right,
Where
well.
we find you, girl?
Thank you guys for checking out AfterBuzz After Dark. I'm Elle Marie. You guys can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at Elle Marie TV.
Oh my gosh! Granted, I had a long day. I still feel like I was drinking on this episode, and I wasn't. But my social is at randomly RJ. You still not used to it because randomly Ronnie Junior has been my website for 10 years. So I just switched it.
What's on his website, though?
TK doesn't
all my
change
broadcast
clearly.
TV stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know there's lighting.
Oh my god, TK, that picture only went out once to one particular individual.
Always sure it didn't get
I don't know.
forwarded.
Because when
and-
I get one, I show it to my gay friend. So I always send him one.
yeah, your penis has been passed around.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
at least it looked cute.
There you go. That's all right.
Because there's some giant ones that don't look good at all.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be truthful.
I agree with
Your
you.
social media,
Sometimes they're
TK.
cute, sometimes they're not.
You want them to look
Yeah.
smooth and silky.
Well, you're just gonna have to look for TK somewhere on the internet. She cannot be available.
You find out everything at TK Trinidad.
Raney Branch, we appreciate you coming in here talking to us. We hope you will come back. Really. Hope you had a good time. But where can we find you on your social media?
You can find me at Raney Branch, RaneyBranch.
Her fiance's like, look, no.
There are no penises on my
But let me just see your iPad real quick.
What's the code?
All right. Well, we're going to see everybody next week, hopefully. Maybe it'll be a little censored, but we'll be here. Yes. So check us out. Bye, everybody.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.